All right, sir, after we've inspected your point of entry, laundry room, and all the bathrooms, now we're gonna test some water. But right before we do that, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about our company.
Okay.
So, we are a leaf home made right here in America. We have the largest team of engineers and scientists of any other home improvement company, headquartered in Hudson, Ohio. Even our call centers are right here in the US. You may have heard of Leaf Filter or seen the TV commercials. So Leaf Filter, we've already served over 1 million satisfied customers. That was kind of what put us on the map. And now we've grown to be the third largest remodeling company in all of North America. What's special about us is we have no franchises, all company-owned locations by this man here, Matt Collick. These are just some of our other verticals, and we are growing fast. We're over 200 locations already, and we're opening up 10 more water offices this year. Here's just a list of our offices around the country. And now, these are some of our review services that we're very proud of. So Trustpilot, have you ever heard of them?
No.
So those are verified reviews, which means you had to have bought my product to actually review it. So in the same sense, I can't even go on there and put good reviews up. A plus with the Better Business Bureau. We're not perfect, but we make everybody whole at the end of the day. And the Super Service Award from Angie's List, only 5% of businesses on there have ever received that. Top places to work since 2017. The thing I love most about my company is we give a lot back. We do over $2 billion in sales each year, but every year we give a veteran a lift chair. We set up reverse osmosis stations for all the natural disasters, and we even paint our NASCAR pink for cancer awareness, and we all buy these bracelets for cancer research. Great company to work for. I'm very happy. So, dealing directly with us, what that means to you, every link in this chain costs you what?
Money.
Money. So by the time it gets to you, you're paying at least 30% more. But the bigger problem in this chain is, say you have a 3-piece unit. So you could have 3 different manufacturer warranties. Everybody's got pride about what they do. So it's natural for somebody to think it was somebody else's fault. So with us, there's going to be absolutely no finger pointing. We take full responsibility for our projects. Now, if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you just wanted to go down to the Home Depot and find your basic water softener for small homes with small issues, you'd be looking at $2,500 to $3,500. All right. So the high end at Home Depot would be $6,500 to $8,000. But when you go to Home Depot to find your system, how do you know what you need for your water quality?
I don't.
You got to test the water, right? At Home Depot, they may give you a little strip that you stick in the water, but it's not going to give you everything. It's not very accurate. Matter of fact, some of our competition's involved in lawsuits because they use 3 or 4 vial testing with reagents. Everybody can put in different size drops, and everybody's eyes kind of differ when you have to put them up to that color chart and tell you how safe your water is according to colors on a chart. So it's just not an accurate science, right? So if you went to maybe a professionally installed company like Culligan, we all know of Culligan, right? Mm-hmm. Your water softeners would be ranging from $6,000 to $3,000. Your filters for iron or carbon would be $4,000 to $3,000. Your reverse osmosis around $2,500. But what I really want to point out on this list is if you want just a 3-year warranty with Culligan, for these units you got to pay an extra $600, extra $700 for these, extra $1,000 for these carbon and iron filters, $900 here. So because I manufacture and install my own products, I can give you the longest warranties and guarantees in the business. We give you a lifetime on your tanks and 7 years on your smart valve. That's basically the brains of the operation. The other thing you'll find with us and no one else is white glove service, which means we will leave the work area better than what we found it. Also, we treat water like an emergency, so the first thing we're going to do to protect your family and your home is install a custom 3-way bypass near your water system. In case you ever notice something wrong with your water, you would just go down to that bypass, make 1 turn, and 1 call to us, and we'll be out by the next day to fix any problems you might have. Last but not least, we do all digital water testing. It's the most important thing about this process is to find out what's in the water before we start discussing about treating it. So we are recognized as a premier brand. These are some of our happy customers, some of our 5-star reviews, and here's all of our bad reviews. So let me ask you, what do you think about this company after going through that?
I mean, it sounds pretty good so far.
Perfect. So we're gonna test your waters. Put this away. This first test we're gonna perform, this is a TDS test. This is the total dissolved solids. Everything in your drinking water, the good and the bad. EPA says 1 to 50 on this meter is quality drinking water. Anything over 500 is max contaminant level. They say you need to get it checked out before you continue to cook with it or drink it. So you're looking like a 250, so you're halfway to contamination level. You mentioned that you're drinking out of that Berkey or the Brita filter over there or that refrigerator. All right, let's just see on our meter here the difference between your tap water and what you're getting out of for your drinking water. Oh, wow, you know, we see this sometimes. This number is actually higher than your tap water. Let me explain why. In the refrigerator, or those little filters that you got, they get plugged up pretty quick. That's why you're supposed to change them like every month. So what happens now, once they're coated with impurities, when your water is passing through, it's actually knocking off extra impurities, putting more poison into your cup of water. So here's the next test we're gonna do is our spin touch. So I get my water loaded in my spin touch, we get that going, and I'm very clear with my customer. This is my disc here. I make my customer match up what my discs are saying compared to what my machine wants, you know? So it's building trust, right? So once that spin touch is going, hey, this is gonna take a few minutes to give us our results. Let's just go over some common water problems. So some of the most common water problems are hard water. This is a hard water map of the United States. And what hard water does is clog your pipes, leave soap scum on your dishes, fades your laundry, leaves scale damage on your fixtures, dry and brittle hair, and skin irritation. Did you also know that hard water will void your warranties in all your major appliances? Because they can't control everybody's water quality, right? So it makes sense. So your hot water heater, your wash machine, dishwasher, entire home's plumbing is probably your biggest expense here. So it's good to just get ahead of this stuff and save you some problems down the road. Chlorine. Often we find chlorine in city water because your city is only legally obliged to neutralize bacteria that could be in your water. That's all they have to do. And what do they do for that? They use chlorine. Why? Because chlorine is cheap. So, but with high level, this is kind of a balancing act. With high levels of chlorine, you're gonna get foul taste, odor, skin irritation, and even these side effects like liver and kidney issues, anemia, increased risk of cancer, central nervous system issues. And then with children and people with compromised immune systems, multiply that risk by 10. So that the low levels could be even more dangerous because now you have a higher risk of microorganisms. That's like your cysts, viruses, bacterias, such as E. coli, salmonella, hepatitis A. When you get too much of that in your water, you have side effects like gas, diarrhea, cramps, nausea, headaches. And then again, infants and people with compromised immune systems, multiply that by 10. The last thing is dangerous metals and high-risk contaminants. That would be like your lead, arsenic, cyanide, copper, nitrates, and nitrites. Potential health risks there: increased cholesterol levels, delays in mental and physical development, high blood pressure, liver and kidney problems. Now, wouldn't you rather just know that it's not coming from your water? I mean, half of America has high cholesterol and high blood pressure and all that stuff. So, you know, for me, I just want to make sure it's in the food I'm eating, maybe not the water I'm drinking every day. So that's why we go through the trouble of identifying and inspecting problems, advanced digital water test, and even looking at local news articles. So we're going to do one more test here. This is our manganese. So most companies don't want to test for manganese because manganese can be very harmful to your health, toxic to the body in high levels, but also it can ruin the medias in your system. So if a company doesn't test for it and your system gets ruined from your manganese, it's not their fault, right? It's kind of how they get out of the responsibility. We take full responsibility for our projects, so we want to find out what's in that water and make it completely safe for you and your family. So while we're waiting for the results of this manganese, I've put my water in there and everything. Let's just, have you ever heard of the EWG?
No, what's that?
No? So the EWG is a team of scientists and engineers and doctors They go over the EPA's test results. The EPA has to test your city water every 2 years. They publish results, but they're not really in English for you and me to read. So the EWG has a website where they publish what your utility has, they publish what's healthy for you, and they publish the legal limits. Guess what? The legal limits and what's healthy for you are worlds apart. So as we're going over this EWG, wow, you have 100 times more than the healthy guidelines of chloroform in your water. Do you know what chloroform is? Yes.
Yeah.
Stuff that people put
I've heard it
put on their
smells
sleep.
nice.
Exactly. So arsenic 125 times, potential risk cancer, brochlorometic acid, all these different acids. I would pick out around 5 or 6 to kind of really pick apart, let the customer know this is what your utility has, this is the healthy guidelines, and this is the legal limits and the potential effect of cancer. And then, what's also nice about this website is actually if you scroll down here, it'll tell you how to remove all these contaminants from your water. So as you can see here, all these contaminants can be removed by carbon, all these contaminants can be removed with the reverse osmosis, and all of these ones with the ion exchange, which is basically a water softener. So great website there, huh? So now that we've collected all your values together, could you read these off for me? We're going to write down all these values together, our chlorine, our pH, our hardness. Have your customer read these values off and make sure your customer is watching you write down the correct values of your water test. So now that we have all these values of our water test, together we're going to put these in my computer system. We call this the widget. This is going to take all these digital values and it's going to pick your system. So basically you're picking your own water treatment system today. So let's put all these values in together. Go ahead and read those off. I'm making sure my customer is watching me put the correct values into the computer system, right? Building trust. So congratulations, sir. We can fix your water. This is what we're recommending. Let's go over that really quick. So that's where I come back to this actually. So why do we inspect for problems and do all digital tests and then look at local news articles even? Because the wrong evaluation leads to the wrong products. These are not even bad products. They were just not paired with the correct water quality. So they failed way before their time. That's why we're over there taking them off. In order to offer you the best in class products, we got to find out what's in that water first. Here's some of our city systems, well systems, and our under the sink bottled water factory. So this is how we differ from the rest. Upflow regeneration. Our competition uses downward regeneration. What that means is the water falls from the top down through the medias. What this does is it allows debris to collect in the bottom of your tanks, and also it's going to compact your medias. So now when the water is coming down after 8 months, it's basically hitting a rock. So if it's not flowing through all the medias like it's supposed to, what is that going to do for you?
Probably stop working.
Well, it's not going to give you as good a clean, right? That water is only hitting 25% of the surface area that it should be. What we do is called upflow regeneration, where the water is pumped up from the bottom. What this does is keep the bottom of your tanks clean, and it also keeps your medias fluffy, so the water is running through all the medias all the time. Don't you think that would give you a better clean?
Yeah.
And more importantly, you're going to get the same clean on year 3 as you got on day 1, right? Because with these other systems, they're going to be great when your guy leaves after they install it. 8 months later, though, once your medias get compacted and more compacted, you're getting less and less and less water quality. The other thing we do is we use a smart valve. Our competition, theirs is set on a timer. Every week at the same time, no matter how much water you use, that system's going to regenerate on the timer and it's going to waste the same exact amount of salt every single week. With ours, our system actually is a computer that counts the gallons, so it never regenerates and uses your salt until it's used enough gallons of water. Now, say you're on vacation. We all know stagnant water is a bad thing, right? You don't want to come home from vacation, have all that water that's been sitting there for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. hit you in the face for your first shower, right? Could have bacteria, all kinds of stuff going on. So ours will just every so many days, it'll drain that stagnant water from the tank and refill it. So you never have stagnant water and it's not using any of your salt because you haven't used any of your water, right? Last but not least, all of these systems on a timer, the settings need to be readjusted when you lose power. So if you're on vacation, you lose power and you didn't even know it, you come home, now your settings are gone. With ours, we have a backup battery. So when you're on vacation, you lose power, you never have to worry about your settings being replaced. Our reverse osmosis, this is a true reverse osmosis. These ones that you see online for maybe $1,500 or $1,000, they're not true reverse osmosis. They meet the minimum requirements, and that's why all those systems, they will require you to change the filters every month, every 2 months, maybe even every 3 months. With our true reverse osmosis, factory recommends once a year. I have a lot of customers that go a lot further with that. It depends on how bad your water is and how much you use it, right? Makes sense? So our white glove service, that's just our promise to you. Exceptional attention to detail, promise to leave your space better than we found it, dedication to customer service, and a strict set of best practices followed by every factory trained technician. Now also with our white glove service, we will drain and remove your old system if you have one down there. We're going to fill your salt brine, program your system, and show you how it works. So why leave home water solutions? Because we do the right tests to find the right products, pair you with the right installation team. So you know you got the right company. So this is what we're offering you folks. Clear, great tasting, odor-free water, no more surface staining, softer skin and hair, brighter, softer laundry, spot-free dishes and glasses, protecting your home's plumbing, extend the life of your appliances and water heater, save on utility bills, no chemical additives, and get rid of waterborne contaminants. So this is what we're recommending for your home. This is our STO combo, UV light rack, and the reverse osmosis that goes under the sink. I want to be very clear with you folks. This combination alone is a whole home system. Combination delivers great tasting, odor-free, high-quality soft water to your home, high-efficiency smart valve, saves money and reduces waste, and it reduces the negative effects of scale buildup. Now, a lot of my customers just love our whole home system. Basically, drink out of any faucet, even when you're taking a shower, you're not going to have no chemicals or byproducts or any hardness in your water whatsoever. That's our first layer of protection. Now, our second layer of protection, this is our UV light rack. This is what we call hospital grade water. In hospitals, the water passes through a UV light, and if there's any bacteria in the water, it will neutralize it so it cannot reproduce in your body. So we call this hospital grade water, and also when you live in the city, you get those boiled water advisories, right? If you have the UV light rack, you never have to worry about the boiled water advisories anymore. The reverse osmosis, again, this is a true reverse osmosis, and how we differ is we have a patented membrane that allows for hyperfiltration that nobody else has. So, what's in our tanks? How we soften water. There's only one way to soften water, and that's through traditional ion exchange. Now, a lot of customers are calling because they see salt-free systems advertised. This is not a water softener, it's a water conditioner. Let me explain the difference. For soft water, we're actually pulling out the calcium and magnesium right out of your water. All those hard water minerals we're pulling out, we're replacing them with sodium ions. That's the only way to soften water. Anytime you pull something out of water, you got to put something back in it. With a conditioner, this is just a descaling medium. The calcium and magnesium, it's very sticky. That's how it clings to your pipes and damages your plumbing. So with the conditioning media, when the calcium and magnesium flows through that, it actually transforms the calcium and magnesium to where they cannot stick or cling to surfaces any longer. So they will still pass through your pipes. You will still see residues come through the pipes, but now they'll come through the pipes. And because they're transformed, they'll wipe up easy. So that's the only way to soften water. Descaling media is a great option, maybe for some people if their water's not that hard, or maybe, we can't fit the softener and the salt brine in there. So it's an alternative. It's not the best solution.
Gotcha.
So, soft water is where you save all your money. 50% less soaps and detergents because that calcium and magnesium, it acts like oil dry. So, you know, when you spill oil on the floor and you put that oil dry stuff on there, that's basically what your calcium and magnesium is doing to your skin, to your clothes. It's sucking up any kind of moisture out of them. That's why your clothes get drier and more lint comes off and it fades your laundry. And then the reason people have skin complications is because that calcium magnesium is sucking the oils right out of your skin. So when you're not losing all those oils, you use 50% less soaps, detergents for your clothes, even lotions and soaps for your body. Because again, you're not as dried out from all that calcium magnesium. You're going to be left with cleaner glasses and dishes. You're going to have your wash machine's going to last longer and not get clumped up with all those hard water minerals. You lower your electricity bills, extend the life of all your appliances, and you eliminate the costly damage to all your fixtures. Those things aren't getting any cheaper, are they?
No.
So that's your big money saver with soft water. Now, carbon is your big body saver. Did you know our bodies are made up of carbon and water? So we're basically using a body to filter your water for you. There's no better filter than the human body, right? So this is our disinfection chemical and byproduct solution. What we use is catalytic activated carbon. Our competition uses activated carbon. Activated carbon's great, but it only pulls out about 70% of those chemicals and byproducts. With catalytic activated carbon, you can pull out 97 to 99% of all your chemicals and byproducts. So carbon goes a long way. 1 pound of carbon has the surface area of over 10 football fields. Our competition uses 1 to 5 pounds of activated carbon. So it gets you down the road, but you're only getting about 70% of those chlorine byproducts pulled out of your water. With catalytic activated carbon, guess how much we use in our tanks?
How much?
We use 20 full pounds of catalytic activated carbon. So it's not only going to go further for you, but again, if this is what's cleaning your water and you have more of it, you're going to get a better clean also, right?
Right.
So our systems, because of the amount of carbon we use, are rated to clean up 1 million gallons of water for you and your family. Now, if a company is using 1 to 5 pounds of carbon, how much water are they cleaning up for you? At best, 250,000 gallons, right? So we're kind of like the Sam's Club or Costco of the water business. We have the best stuff, all the name brands, but you got to buy 5 boxes. You only pay for 2, right? So moving on to our microorganism solution, our UV light rack, 99.9% effective with no chemicals. And my favorite part, you never have to worry about boil water advisories. Last layer of protection is our true reverse osmosis. Again, we have a patented membrane that allows for hyperfiltration, only allowing very minute particles of 0.001 microns to pass through. So, what do you guys think? Everything look good?
Yeah.
Do you like the products, the company?
Yeah, looks nice.
Have I been doing an okay job for you?
So far.
Great. So let's get, you want to go ahead and pause it?